Welcome to Talkin' Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. Hope you've got your brackets ready, because March Madness has begun. Joining me today is our columnist, Jeff Duncan. Well, Jeff, LSU and NC State tangle on the court tonight. That 8-9 matchup can be hard to pick, but if LSU's going to get it done, Jordan Mickey has to be healthier, I think, and they've got to win the battle of the guards, too. So can they get it done?
Well, I certainly think they can, Rachel. I think it's, like you said, a very even matchup, and it's compounded by the fact that both teams were very disappointing in their conference tournaments. You know, LSU had that devastating loss to Auburn where they, frittered the game away in the final minutes, and NC State in the ACC tournament just got annihilated by Duke. They played terrible. So you know both teams are going to come out extra motivated to play well after those performances. So I think we're going to see a really evenly matched game. I think it's probably going to come down to the wire, but I like the matchup for LSU. LSU should have an advantage inside with Jarrell Martin and Mickey inside. But I do think NC State, their perimeter core is so good. Cat Barber's a great point guard that if LSU's guards do not defend, and that's been a problem for them all year, if they don't defend well, I could see LSU's big men getting into some foul trouble on penetration in the lane. So it's going to be interesting to see how Johnny Jones chooses to play defense against NC State. I think if Martin and Mickey stay out of foul trouble and are in it to the end, LSU's got a great chance to not only win this game, but also like the potential for an upset against Villanova in round 2. Villanova's had a great year, but they are probably the least imposing #1 seed in the tournament.
Right, I do agree with you there. And speaking of the whole tournament, it almost seems like Kentucky would be the easy pick to win it all, but the top-ranked team has only won it all twice in the past 10 years. I thought that was really interesting. But do you think that the Wildcats can be beaten?
Well, I think only two teams, I think, could beat them, and two teams are Duke and Arizona. I think they're the only two teams that have the athletes and the size to match up with Kentucky. Kentucky is so dominant inside. They have 3 6'11" players or taller that they just come at you in waves, and you've got to have size inside to at least be able to match up with them. And then you've got to have athletes, because every one of Kentucky's top 9 players are NBA prospects. And I think Arizona and Duke, if they can make it to the Final Four, I think that's going to be a big test for Kentucky, having to beat both those teams back-to-back, because I think the pressure is really going to start to mount when they get closer and closer to wrapping up this thing and going 40-0. I think if they have a bad shooting game and the pressure starts to mount on the court, things could turn against a team as talented as Arizona or Duke. So I didn't pick Kentucky to win it all, but I think certainly they're the overwhelming favorite and clearly the most talented team in the tournament.
Right, there's a lot of talent in this field. So who is, America wants to know, Jeff, who's your national title pick?
Well, I picked Duke to win it all. I know not a lot of people are going to enjoy that, but Duke has incredible talent. They have great coaching, and I think they have the mental makeup to beat Kentucky. They're not going to be intimidated, which is half the battle when you play Kentucky. We saw it in the LSU game earlier this year. We saw it this year when Georgia had a chance to beat them. A lot of these teams, when they get in the moment down the stretch and the game's in the balance, don't really believe they can win that game. Kentucky just kind of intimidates them, and they can't finish. That won't be the case with Duke. They've been in a lot of big games, and Mike Krzyzewski's a great big game coach. I like Duke to win it all.
Right, Coach K, he's certainly been on big stages before, and you spoke about Duke. NC State actually beat them earlier this season, but again, losing in the ACC tournament doesn't look too good. But LSU and NC State tonight, 8:20. Can't wait to see it. Thanks, Jeff.
My pleasure, Rachel. Great time of year. Can't wait to watch these games.
Absolutely. Non-stop basketball. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy the games.